Hey Lightweights, today I'm going to be reacting to The Exorcist. Now, I have seen exorcism movies before. I've seen possession movies like The Conjuring. I don't know. I've seen a lot of these because this is my favorite type of horror, but I have never seen The Exorcist. But I do have a little bit of a funny story, so bear with me. If you want to fast forward, that's totally fine, but I need to share this story with you because it's a little freaky. It's also, I'm just going to call it funny because it's mostly freaky. So I'm going to pretend it's funny and we're all going to laugh about it together, okay? So if you are a part of my other channel, there was a live stream where I was talking about how I had watched a version of The Exorcist. I wasn't sure if it was the original or a remake or one of the offshoots like The Exorcism of Emily Rose or one of those. I wasn't sure which one it was, but I was with a group of friends in high school. We were watching an exorcism movie, and I was like, it was really cool because in the shadow scenes, the demon would be there, like anytime they were in the bedroom or whatever, but you would always see like the demon. And everybody in my stream was saying, oh, well, that's Pazuzu, I think is the name. I'm not going to say it a bunch of times because I don't need to risk anything. But anyways, they said the demon's name, and we were all trying to figure out what movie I was referring to. And I was looking it up on my phone, couldn't figure it out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask my dad to reach out to them because long convoluted relationship, but basically my dad still keeps in touch with these people through martial arts and stuff like that, and I don't. So he still has their contact information. So he calls them up. He's like, hey, do you guys remember what movie you guys were watching? And they don't remember what I'm talking about. So they're not the people, like, you know, I have friends that would totally lie about that just to freak me out, but they are not that type of people. Like, one's a brain surgeon, and like they're very serious people. They're not people that like are making that stuff up. So apparently I had a fever dream in which I was with this group of people and we watched a movie with demon shadows that were not there, or I was just seeing demon shadows that nobody else saw. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for this. I don't know what was going on there, but I just found that information out because I was like, before I watch this, I need to know if I've actually seen this movie at some point. So yeah, that was some crucial information I wanted to share with you. So I'm just a little extra freaked out. It's currently 8:30 at night, so it's not super late, but it is pitch black outside, and I'm scared. So anyways, apparently I had a fever dream about seeing demons and shadows of this movie that they don't recall. They remember us being together, and they don't remember what movie we watched, but they definitely don't remember demons and the shadows. So, yeah. Anyways, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button. I also finally launched memberships, so if you are a member, at this point it's not going to help you, but for future movies, you can get the reaction early if you join the membership program here on YouTube. Or if you would like the full reaction, you can join my Patreon, which will be linked in the description / also linked in a pinned comment. Yeah. Also, this is the director's cut. I don't know what the difference is, but I figured if there is a director's cut, I should probably watch that one. So that's the one we're watching. Anyways, here we go. That sand has to be hot. I guess when you're used to it, your feet build up a tolerance, but ouch. Don't, nope, don't. Oh, it sounds like there's breathing. It's just the wind, but they made it sound like breathing. Was that the demon? Is that like an effigy? This guy's not okay. Is he possessed? I have a lot of questions. Saint Joseph?
شيطان يحارب شيطان. أبونا.
Evil against evil. Like, so that's not the actual demon, that's like a protector against a demon?
أتمنى أن ما تسافر يا صديقي العزيز. عندي شيء لازم أسويه.
lost in his thoughts. The lack of music is kind of freaking me out a little bit. Okay, that can stop any day now. She's being entirely too calm right now. Oh yeah, entirely too calm. She's not worried about the noises coming from the attic?
Sure do love you. Morning.
Good morning, Mrs. McNeil.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
She's just gonna
We've
leave
got
the
rats
noises?
in the attic. You better get some traps.
But I think it's clean.
All right, then we've got clean rats.
No rats.
I just heard them, girl.
That was not rats. Maybe birds. Squirrels.
Well, what's wrong?
Why are they tearing the building down?
Shall we summon the writer? He's in Paris, I believe.
Hiding?
Fucking.
And action, Chris. I've seen enough killing in my lifetime.
Come on, we're all concerned with human rights, for God's sakes. But the kids who want to get an education have a right. You can't accomplish anything by shutting kids out.
What's the importance of that guy? Gorgeous campus. I'm pretty sure there's like a dubstep version of this when I was in college. Dubstep, that's something that died.
Hi, how'd your day go? Oh, not too bad. You got an invitation. What's this? Dinner at the White House. You're kidding me. What is it, a big party or something? I think it's 5 or 6 people.
So she's like important.
Oh, Mom, you should have seen this man came along on this beautiful gray horse. I think it was a gelding. Oh, it was so beautiful. And the guy let me ride it all around and everything. Oh, Mom, can't we get a horse?
There it is.
Come back. All right, give it up.
Oh God, that bothers me. You gotta right side out your sleeve, sir. Scariest thing of the movie so far.
Now, Mommy, you have to stay off it. You can't go up and down the stairs. Now, you have to give it rest.
Okay.
She's not gonna.
Mom, I could take you somewhere where you'd be safe. You wouldn't be alone. There would be people around. You know, you wouldn't be sitting here listening to a radio.
This is my house, and I'm not going no place.
I'm like waiting for anything scary to happen. I thought it turned off on its own. So the good news is this is definitely not the movie that I saw. The bad news is that does not help me with what movie I was watching. And that bothers me.
Hey, where'd this come from?
I found it.
Where?
Closet.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's both play. You really don't want me to play, huh?
No, I do. Captain Howdy said no.
Who's Captain Howdy?
You know, I make the questions and he does the answers.
Reagan, why are you reading that?
Because I like that.
It's not even a good picture if you look at that.
That's not nice. They're so cute.
Tomorrow night, I'll take you to a movie. Okay?
Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you, Rex. You can bring Mr. Dennings if you like.
Well, thank you very much, but why on earth would I want to bring Burke on your birthday?
You like him.
Yeah, I like him. Don't you like him? Hey, what's going on? What is this? Huh?
You're gonna marry him, aren't you?
Oh, of
But you like him.
course I like him. I like pizzas, too, but I'm not going to marry him.
It's my mother, Tom. She's alone. I never should have left her. I need reassignment, Tom. I want out of this job. It's no good. You're the best we've got.
That's not the one from the beginning of the movie, is it? Do we know the priest at the beginning's name?
I think I've lost my faith, Tom.
What are you doing here?
My bed was shaking. I can't get to sleep.
Please, there's no way you think that's rats. You going out there without a flashlight? Also don't think I'd want to be climbing a ladder with a candle. Ooh! I feel like they do a great job of building the suspense by having like these really loud noises and like a crescendo of noise, and then it's just nothing but footsteps. Like, they've done that a couple times where it's just like a cacophony and then quiet. And it really just make my nerves stand on end. What the hell?
Tell me if you feel a vibration. Can you feel this?
I don't feel anything.
Just in your mouth.
I don't want it.
What is the point of that little hat? Sorry, I know this is a serious moment.
A disorder of the nerves. At least we think it is. She shows all the symptoms. Hyperactivity, her temper.
So they diagnosing her with ADHD?
This is for Ritalin.
Yep, okay.
10 milligrams a day. Nobody knows the cause of hyperkinetic behavior in a child. The Ritalin seems to work to relieve the condition. As to how or why, we really don't know. The symptoms could be overreaction to depression.
My daughter isn't depressed.
Well, you mentioned her father and the separation.
Do you think I should take her to a psychiatrist?
Oh, I think we should wait and see what happens with the Ritalin. Have you ever known your daughter to swear? To use obscenities?
No, never.
It's never good when they shut the door.
Well, she let loose quite a string while I was examining her, Mrs. McNeil.
Well, I find that hard to believe. What'd she say?
She advised me to keep my fingers away from her. Goddamn cunt.
I can't believe it. You don't think a psychiatrist?
I think the best explanation is always the simplest.
I'm thinking a psychiatrist won't hurt.
So, in the meantime, try not to worry.
How?
That's rich. Yeah, it's your daughter. We don't know what's happening, but try not to worry.
You should have called me the minute it happened. So we give her a shot and bring her here till the doctors, they fix up her leg. Then we take her right out, Jimmy. 2 or 3 months and she's out, good as new.
That looked creepily close to my step-grandma. I did not like that. That was creepy.
You'll find Mrs. Harris in the last bed on the left-hand side.
Why you did this to me, Demi? Why? Mama, I'm going to take you home.
Why is she restrained?
There seems to be an alien pubic hair in my gin.
I beg your pardon?
Never seen it before in my life.
What?
Was it public relations you did for the Gestapo walk?
Community relations.
Swiss. Yes, of course. Nazi bastard.
I mean, who's the priest I keep seeing there?
Damien Karras.
Harris?
That's his office back in St. Mike's. He had a pretty rough knock last night, poor guy. His mother passed away. She was living by herself, and I guess she was dead a couple of days before they found her.
Wait, what?
Bloody damn butchering Nazi pig. What's for dessert?
Seems like a real joy to be around.
Hey, I think we've got a guest.
You're gonna die up there.
I'm sorry she's been sick. She didn't know what she was saying.
Okay.
Upstairs.
That was the astronaut, right? He's gonna die out there like space? The final frontier?
What's wrong with me?
It's just like the doctor said. It's nerves, and that's all.
I don't know, maybe call the psychiatrist, though. Like, if that's my daughter, I'm not fucking around. It's not gonna hurt. I know they thought a little differently about psychiatry back then than they do now, but, like, I don't know.
Is it coming out, Willie? Yes, I think so.
god, I have...
College president shouldn't drink.
I should have been there. I wasn't there. I should have been there.
There was nothing you could do. Let him.
You know the room is spinning for him right now. Wait. Oh, those earlier scenes were from that from Iraq. Wasn't that the same clock? And that was definitely the same metal. Yeah, that's definitely the same metal.
I don't want it! Reagan, honey, it's that help me! You fucking bastard!
Well, it's a symptom of a type of disturbance in the chemical electrical activity of the brain. It's rare, but it does cause bizarre hallucinations, and usually just before a convulsion. The shaking of the bed, that's doubtless due to muscular spasm.
I got on the bed. The whole bed was thumping and rising off the floor and shaking. The whole thing, with me on it.
Mrs. McNeil, the problem with your daughter is not her bed. It's her brain. It's a kind of seizure disorder.
And look, Doc, I really don't understand how her whole personality could change.
And temporal lobe is very common. It can last for days or even weeks. All we have to do is remove the scar.
Regan, can you sit up? Scoot over here.
Oh, look at her coloring.
Now, Regan, you're going to feel something a little bit cold and wet.
I can... Oh, God.
Hook up.
I'm assuming that was contrast. And if you've ever had contrast, it sucks. And I... Whenever I get contrast, I can smell it in my nose, and you feel it in your hands and your feet and your...
Want me to run another series?
Oh, I don't like it.
I don't think so. I'd like you to see her again.
Excuse me, Doctor. Chris McNeil is on the phone. She says it's urgent.
Things have gotten worse since I phoned you. I think you better go upstairs.
She having spasms again?
Yeah, but they've gotten violent.
Mother,
McNeil, Dr. Taylor.
please! What is it? What's happening? Stop! It's burning!
Let's see what the...
So what's wrong with her?
We still think the temporal lobe.
Oh, what are you talking about, for Christ's sakes?
Do more encephalogram, I would think. Pin down that lesion. It will involve another spinal.
I couldn't even sedate her.
Dr. Tanny says the x-rays are negative. In other words, normal. You keep any drugs in your house?
No. Of course not. Nothing like that.
I think it's time we started looking for a psychiatrist.
I would just like one scary movie that doesn't involve a mother and her child.
Cher?
Oh, shit.
What the hell do you mean going off and leaving Reagan by herself?
Well, didn't he tell you?
Didn't who tell me?
Burke isn't... Look, there wasn't anybody here, so when I went to get the Thorazine, I had him stay with her, and I should have known better. I'm sorry.
I guess you should have.
Suppose he heard.
Heard what?
Burke's dead. He must have been drunk. He fell down from the top of the steps right outside. By the time he hit M Street, he broke his neck.
Is that what all those ambulance and people were?
No!
Are you comfortable, Reagan? How old are you?
12.
Is there someone inside you?
Sometimes.
Will you let him answer?
No.
Why not?
I'm afraid.
I'm speaking to the person inside of Reagan now. If you are there, you too are hypnotized. Come forward. are you?
Does it smell?
Go!
Okay, think it's time you call the priest. Who's that?
William F. Kinderman, homicide.
What's this all about?
Well, you know this director was doing the film here, Burke Dennings.
I've seen him.
And you're also familiar how last week he died.
Only what I read in the papers.
Father, what do you know on the subject of witchcraft?
I once did a paper on it.
I know, I read it. Father, this desecration in the church, you think this has anything to do with witchcraft?
Maybe some rituals used in the Black Mass, maybe.
You read how he died.
In a fall.
With his head turned completely around, facing backwards.
Didn't happen in the fall?
It's possible. Possible, however...
Unlikely.
Exactly.
You think the killer and the desecrator are the same?
Maybe somebody crazy, somebody with a fight against the church, some unconscious rebellion.
That seems pretty conscious to me.
But for priests on the campus here, you're the psychiatrist. You know who was sick at the time, who wasn't. I mean, this kind of sickness. You'd know that.
I'm cold, but I'm hot because I'm nervous.
Not to bother you with trivia, but a psychiatrist was put in jail for not telling the police what he knew about a patient.
Is that a threat?
No, I mention it only in passing.
Incidentally, I mention it only in passing. I could always tell the judge it was a matter of confession.
You like movies?
Very much.
Well, I get passes to the best shows in town. You want to see a film with me? I got passes to the Crest. It's Othello.
I've seen it.
We call it somnambuliform possession. It starts with a conflict or a guilt, and it leads to the patient's delusions that his body has been invaded by some spirit, if you will.
Look, I'm telling you again, and you better believe me. I'm not putting her away.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Jesus Christ, 88 doctors, and all you can tell me with all of your bullshit is...
Of course, there is one outside chance for a cure. Have you ever heard of exorcism? Well, it's a stylized ritual in which the rabbi or the priest try to drive out this so-called invading spirit. It's been pretty much discarded these days, except by the Catholics who keep it in the closet as a sort of an embarrassment. It has worked.
You're telling me that I should take my daughter to a witch doctor?
Is that where he fell? Honestly, I could see a staircase like that knocking someone's head around. Look, that's a steep fall. Was that the same thing from the beginning of the movie?
Carl, if you put this in Reagan's bedroom, I want you to tell me.
Not me.
This was under Reagan's pillow. Did you put it there? Of course I didn't.
I didn't put it. I meant to see you.
What man?
Might your daughter remember, perhaps, if Mr. Dennings was in her room that night?
No, she was heavily sedated.
It's serious.
Why are you asking all this?
It's strange. The deceased comes to visit, stays only 20 minutes, and leaves all alone a very sick girl. And speaking plainly, Mrs. McNeil, it isn't likely he would fall from a window. Besides, a fall wouldn't do to his neck what we found, except maybe one chance in 1,000. My opinion, he was killed by a very powerful man. And the fracturing of his skull, .2, plus the various other things we mentioned, would make it very probable that the deceased was killed and then pushed from your daughter's window. But nobody was in the room except your daughter, so how can this be? Now, you were expecting a package that day, some delivery?
Not that I know of. I really wouldn't know. See, Carl takes care of all that.
Ooh, and they've got cause to blame Carl too, because that fight at that party. I hope he doesn't get blamed.
Would you like some more coffee?
Please.
She's like, I was just asking that to be nice. I actually want you to leave. Like, that was not an actual invitation. That was just me being kind. Please get the frick out of my house.
It's cute. Your daughter, she's the artist? Incidentally, you might ask your daughter if she remembers seeing Mr. Dennings in her room that night.
He wouldn't have any reason in the world to go up to her room.
Oh, I know, I realize, but if certain British doctors never asked, what is this fungus, we wouldn't today have penicillin, correct?
When she's better, I'll ask her.
Yeah, couldn't hurt. In the meantime, I really hate to ask you this, but for my daughter, could you please give an autograph?
Oh, my God.
And what's your name?
I lied, it's for me.
Why does he seem sketchy?
Bye.
Yeah, she was getting those vibes too, see?
Jesus, fuck you! Jesus, fuck you! Lift me! Lift me!
You know what she did?
Chris McNeil. I'm Father Karras.
You're a friend of Father Dyer's, right?
Yes, I am.
Did he talk to you about my party?
He sure did.
About my daughter?
No, I didn't know you had one.
What if a person came to, that was a murderer or criminal of some kind, and they wanted some kind of help? I mean, would you have to turn him in?
Well, if he came to me for spiritual advice, I'd say no.
He definitely thinks she's a murderer.
If a person's, possessed by a demon or something, how do they get an exorcism?
Well, the first thing, I'd have to get him into a time machine and get him back to the 16th century. Well, it just doesn't happen anymore, Miss McNeil. Since the day I joined the Jesuits, I've never met one priest who has performed an exorcism. Not one.
Yeah, well,
I need one.
It just so happens that somebody very close to me is probably possessed and needs an exorcism. Father Karras is my little girl. You could do it yourself.
No, I couldn't. I need church approval, and that's rarely given.
Could you see her?
Yes, I could. I could see her as a psychiatrist, but I can't see
not
her.
a psychiatrist. She needs a priest.
Hello, Reagan.
Baby.
I'm not Reagan.
Well, then let's introduce ourselves. I'm Damien Karras.
And I'm the devil.
Where's Reagan?
In here with us.
Show me Reagan and I'll loosen one of the straps.
Your mother's in here with us, Karras. Would you like to leave a message? I see that she gets it.
I wish I could show you my goosebumps.
If that's true, then you must know my mother's maiden name. What is it?
Oh! What the hell did they give her to eat? Pea soup?
I need evidence that the church would accept as signs of possession.
Like what?
Like her speaking in a language she's never known or studied.
I thought you were supposed to be an expert.
There are no experts.
I'm telling you that thing upstairs isn't my daughter.
Did Reagan know a priest was coming over?
No.
Did you know my mother died recently?
Yes, I did. I'm very sorry.
No. Is Reagan aware of it?
Not at all.
Could he use that as evidence? The fact that she's that sick and her dad hasn't at least called.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
But wouldn't that drive you out of Reagan?
It would bring us together.
You and Reagan?
You and us.
How many demons are in there? Keep saying us. Oh, shit.
Did you do that? Do it again.
In time.
No, now.
Mirabile dictu, don't you agree?
You speak Latin.
Ego te absolvo.
Quod nomen mihi est?
La plume de matant.
How long are you planning to stay in Reagan?
Until she rots and lies stinking in the earth. What's that?
Holy water.
You keep it away.
It burns! Oh, it burns!
Yeah. Here, buddy.
Sorry.
Who are you?
Here, buddy.
Want a drink?
Please. Where's her father?
In Europe.
Have you told him what's happening?
No.
Well, I think you should.
All right, that explains why he's not there.
I told Reagan that was holy water. I sprinkled it on her, and she reacted very violently. It's tap water.
What's the difference?
Holy water's blessed, and that doesn't help support a case for possession.
She killed Burke Dennings. She pushed him out her window.
Who are you?
Now on there!
It's a language, all right. It's English.
What do you mean, English?
It's English in reverse.
Give us time! Let her die!
What the hell?
Hear the priest? Hear the priest?
Jesus Christ. Fuck. My soul just left my body.
Well, what's wrong? What is it?
Did that say help me? Oh my God.
You're convinced that it's genuine?
I don't know. But I have made a prudent judgment that it meets the conditions set down in the ritual.
Might be best to have a man of experience, maybe someone who spent time in foreign missions. How about Lancaster Marin? Marin?
That was the name on the freaking tape.
I think I read that he was working on a dig near Nineveh.
Yeah, you're right, Mike,
but he's finished. Came back 3 or 4 months ago.
It said Marin's name.
He's had experience. I didn't know that. 10, 12 years ago, I think, in Africa. The exorcism supposedly lasted months. Heard it damn near killed him.
Dude, this... Oh, this is like the picture. Like when you picture The Exorcist, that's this. Yep, seen that before. I think that's the cover art. Oh, it knows. It knows he's there.
Mrs. McNeil.
Yes.
I'm Father Mary. Father Karras.
It's an honor to meet you, Father.
The fact that the staff has chosen to stay through all of this just shows you how much they like genuinely care for the family.
Would you like some brandy in that, Father?
Well, the doctors say I shouldn't, but thank God my will is weak. The demon is a liar. He will like to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. So don't listen. Remember that. Do not listen.
I think it might be helpful if I gave you some background on the different personalities Reagan has manifested. So far, I'd say there seem to be 3. She's convinced that
There's only one.
Does he know this demon? This seems personal. Oh my God, I'm freaking scared, man. I'm just gonna get my tissues, because, you know, if she dies, I'm probably gonna lose it, so.
What is your daughter's middle name, Miss McNeil?
Teresa.
What a lovely name.
Stick your cock up her ass.
Be silent! Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
In the face of the enemy.
Let the enemy have no power over us. Holy Lord, Almighty Father, everlasting God, and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, that roaring lion, hasten to our call for help. Strike terror, Lord, into the beast, now laying waste your realm. Let your mighty hand cast him out of your servant.
Amen. Oh, Lord, hear my prayer.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Father Karras.
Snap out of it, dude. Hello?
The response, please, David. Underfoot serpents and scorpions, grant me to confront this cruel demon. See the cross of the Lord. Begone, you hostile power.
Do you have a backup one of those? Dude, he's not gonna survive this. How old is he?
I cast you out! It is he who commands you! He who plunged heights of heaven to the depths of hell!
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, who lives
No,
and
no, it's gonna
reigns
happen again. It's
with
gonna
the
happen
Father.
again. It's gonna happen again.
Damien! God, defender of the human race, by the judge of the living and the dead, to depart from the servant of God. It's the power. The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Nothing is compelling it.
The power of Christ compels you!
Maybe try a different strategy.
Do not despise my command because you know me to be a sinner.
The majestic Christ who commands you. God the Father commands you.
I don't think I'd be doing that shit,
The blood of the martyrs commands you.
Marin just looks like a walking corpse at this point. Look at his color. So that was just a vision? That didn't actually happen?
Let's rest before we start again.
I don't know if I'd be sitting there alone with my back facing her right now. I just don't think that I would be doing that. I would be scurrying right on out of there.
Wise girl. I think the point is to make us despair, to see ourselves as animal and ugly, to reject the possibility that God could love us.
Yeah, if Damien is questioning his faith, should he really be in there? Like, I feel like the demon would feed off that, right? What are you doing? Why is he in there alone? Sir! What are you doing?
Dimi, why you do this to me? Please, Dimi. I'm afraid.
You're not my mother.
What is it?
Her heart.
Can you give her something?
She go into coma.
Isso é polícuras menos.
You're not my mother!
Get out.
Also, I'm sorry. I don't care what they say. I'm not leaving my daughter alone during this whole thing, during this whole ordeal. I don't care if I'm stressed out. If my baby girl is going through that, I'm in the frickin' room with her. These parents are pissing me off. It's a good thing Damien didn't try to do this alone, because he already would have failed. Not that I can blame him, I'm just saying.
Is it over? Is she gonna die?
No.
Honestly surprised that didn't make me jump. What the hell is he doing there? Is he dead?
You son of a bitch! Take me! Come into me! Take me!
Wait. Go to your freaking child, woman.
Do you want to make a confession?
I'm gonna miss you. Same here. I found this in your room.
Wait, that was the same. How did his medal get in frickin' Iraq? I'm gonna have to rewind after this, because who was that? I thought that was Marin. Did they have the same medal? Do all priests wear that?
She doesn't remember any of it.
That's good.
All done.
Okay. Honey, this is Father Dyer.
Face.
Hi, Father.
Hello.
Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye.
I'll call you.
was that for?
I thought you'd like to keep this.
Why don't you keep it?
I don't. I would not trust keeping anything. Everything would be gone. Everything would be gone. I'm not trusting any of it. Buy everything new.
Lieutenant, you just missed him.
How's the girl?
She seemed fine.
That's important. Well, back to business, back to work. Bye, Father.
Goodbye.
Father Dyer, you go to films?
Sure.
Well, I got passes, you know.
What's with this dude?
Wuthering Heights.
Who's in it?
Heathcliff, Jackie Gleason, and in the role of Catherine Earnshaw, Lucille Ball.
I've seen it.
Another one. Had your lunch?
No.
Dude. Okay, hold on. I gotta rewind. Can we just... Shush. Go all the way back to the beginning. I thought that was Marin. But now, that was clearly Damien's medal. I'm just a little confused. Bear with me. That is Marin. So, okay. My brain hurts. So this is Marin. How did Marin... It's just a different necklace. That's the same necklace. Am I overthinking this? I think I'm overthinking this now. Okay, I'm just trying to wrap my head around everything. I'm so sorry. This is going to be like the worst outro because I was definitely just like panic locked the whole time. I guess it makes sense because they said that Marin was back to write his book. So he was in Iraq. He had been back for a few months to write his book. I'm just like, what was the significance of the necklace then? Was it not the... I mean, it was the same necklace. Was it not the same necklace? Damien had those flashes after his mom died where he saw the clock with Marin and he saw the necklace dropping. Was he just having foreshadowing to Marin's death? That's the same necklace. That's the same necklace. How? How did... The gears are trying to turn. They're trying. The only thing I can think of is it can't obviously be Damien's necklace, right? It can't be. So the only thing I can think of is not Damien's necklace, it's just the same kind. And that was a message to Marin in some way. Like the little sculpture-y thing he found is related to the demon that was possessing Reagan. And was the necklace like a little I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I'm clearly missing something obvious. I'm not sure what it is. I need to move on from it. Okay. So, holy crap. It was amazing film. Terrifying, but amazing. But I love this type of scary is what I eat up. As I've gotten older, like I used to not mind when I was younger, like the super gory, gruesome, like I didn't mind any of that stuff. When I was really young, like way too young to be watching these movies. I don't remember what it was called, but there was like a indie horror film. I don't know, some film festival for indie horror films. And people would send in their indie horror films, and then like they get voted on by a panel, and the top like 12 would be released as DVDs every year. I was obsessed with those. And there were actually some gems in there. A lot of stinkers, but some real gems in there too. I was obsessed with those. And let me tell you, those could be really gory. Because I feel like a lot of horror goes on that side, the gore side. And when I was a kid, that didn't bother me. Now that the older I get, the worse I get with that. I'm not good with the gore anymore. This was just, it's kind of like I'm playing Silent Hill 2 right now. I'm just going to equate the two for a second because they're very similar in terms of like how they make me feel. It was just almost like the suspense, like obviously we knew what was coming. I knew this was an exorcism movie. It's called The Exorcist, right? But you're just like waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for the signs that something's going to happen. And the way they just built that was so good. And I think what was even better was the way they actually built the story. I'm going to sound like an old man yelling at the clouds. But I feel like a lot of times with scary movies now, they're just like instantly throwing you into the scares. Like, you know, you can disagree with me here, but I feel like a lot of times the structure of a scary movie now is like right out the gate, something scary happens. And then you like jump to a different family or a different time or whatever. And then it kind of builds the story. And then you get into the spookiness again, but pretty quickly. With this, they really focused on building all of these characters. Like you met Marin. You saw what he was doing. I didn't know who the hell he was, clearly, for a minute. Then you go to the family, and you see the relationship with the mom and the daughter. You see Damien and his relationship with his mother and his internal struggles with his faith. And you're just building a story like a regular movie. And then it gets you. And it was only like really creepy right at the end in terms of like the length of the film. Like kind of like it was mostly building to the end point, which I loved. I loved that because I also feel like sometimes in horror movies or in scary movies, if they try to have too much scariness happen, you almost become desensitized to it. I feel like this was just beautifully done because they didn't give you a chance to be desensitized to it because they were just like, we're just building the story. And then once it started, it didn't stop. It was like the perfect amount. That actress of Reagan, I mean, obviously the whole cast was very talented, but Reagan in particular, she did such a great job. I don't know how old she actually was, like the actress actually was, but she did a phenomenal job. I feel like if I were a kid and I had to act that, I would just give myself nightmares and I would never be able to sleep again. Even though I knew it was me acting it, I feel like I still would be messed up after that. She did such a great job. Personally, and this is probably going to be the case for a lot of people, I know I've said this a bunch, but now that I am a mother, part of the horror of this is watching a mother not be able to do anything to help her child. She's seeing her child deteriorate and there's nothing she can do about it. And she's going about everything the right way. She's going to the doctor. She's trusting the doctors. She's pushing the doctors to actually give her a diagnosis. She's trying the therapists and she's doing everything she possibly can and nothing is working. And I almost feel like that made it so much more suspenseful because we as the audience know we need to get to that exorcist point, right? But she doesn't know that. So we're just like, figure it out, and that builds that suspense, that drama, that fear, that tension, so that when they're ready to release the actual scaries, it's ready. Like, because they've built that in us this whole time. Then the actual possession scenes, oh, wow. The one where she was like, down the stairs. And then the one with the frickin' crucifix. And then she shoved her mouth. Oh. How does one come up with that idea? That fucked me up. That was. I think you understand what I'm trying to say because I can't say it. It's just what the fuck. I was gonna say this before, but my brain is all over the place because I'm still kind of reeling. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've got a history of medical difficulties, which has kind of led to, well, I don't throw this out here lightly, but medical trauma. Like, it's a touchy subject for me. I've been through it. And when she was sitting in the room with the 10 doctors or whatever, and she's like, I'm in here with 10 doctors and none of you can give me a diagnosis. Like, I've been there. And that was very difficult to watch from a different perspective. I was, the patient in the situation and a child and couldn't get answers. And everybody was telling me, it's in your head, you're faking it, you don't need this kind of help. Now, to see it from the parent's perspective, that was real difficult to, watch that. So I feel like they did a good job of making this extra suspenseful, extra difficult for people in realistic ways, too. Like, this is, like a possession film, but then there's also real things happening in there that are difficult for people and builds that suspense and that fear in a different way. And then, obviously they have the religious component to it, which adds to things as well for a whole nother group of people. So it's just like they had so many layers to this, which is, probably why it's a classic. I'm also I really want to know what the hell movie I watched when I was in high school. Because it wasn't this. It wasn't this. I thought for a second it was going to be because we had the flashes of the face. It wasn't. So what did I watch? If any of you know, that'd be wonderful. But for example, there was a scene where the mom was walking down the stairs and the bedroom door was open and they panned out from the bedroom door. So it was just the bright bedroom door with the dark shadows on either side. So picture a scene like that, but in the shadow on the right side, where the actual door would have been, full body shadow of a demon. There were lots of scenes like that. Not just the face. It was just very subtle. Almost if you watched The Haunting of Hill House, that, but it wasn't that. I'm freaked out that I don't know what that was. And I'm just, you know, a little worried that that was something that my childhood self made up a little bit. So please tell me what that was. It was an exorcism movie of some kind, but it wasn't this. It was not this. Did they do a remake? I don't know. But that was really freaking good. That was really good. And I feel like on paper, this is one of those films where if you had told me, I would have been like, yeah, that's probably good, but probably not scary. And it wasn't even scary. It was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just stressful. And I am scared now, but it wasn't scary itself. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't make sense. Oh, shit. Big thing that I think I touched on in the movie, but I didn't say now. Okay, this will be the last thing, I promise. This is literally the worst outro I've ever done. Going back to Marin. So the demon in that tape recorder, when they played it backwards, was like, fear the priest. I'm no one. Fear the priest, Marin. Dude, I got goosebumps. So it knew Marin, but Marin hadn't been in the picture yet. So that leads me to believe, like, what was this demon's beef with Marin? It knew it wanted Marin. First of all, that's what that boils down to. It wanted Marin. And it freaking somehow got the necklace there. I don't know, it's like foreshadowing for Marin, or like a way to have him recognize, like when he saw Damien, like, oh shit, like they left me a note. But it wanted Marin. So clearly it knew Marin in some capacity. Why Marin? Like, why did that demon specifically want Marin? Like, they asked why Reagan. Guys, I'm literally losing my mind. I swear to God, I thought that just moved. This little ghosty. And they were like, why Reagan? But, like, why Marin? I don't know. I don't have answers to that. But that's interesting. That's interesting. So, I think I'm going to stop. If you're still here after that horrible outro. Thanks. The full reaction will be up on Patreon. Probably is up on Patreon at this point. You can find a link in the description or in a pinned comment below. Also, like I said at the intro, have opened up memberships. Memberships will literally be these same reactions. You just get to see them early. You can check that out too. I only have one level. But you know, you can check those out too. If you can't do either of those things because they're extra money, totally get it. Not a big deal at all. You can subscribe to the channel. That'd be super helpful. You could leave a comment. Maybe explain some of the things that I'm confused about. Guys, I'm never sleeping again. Why is it like more scary now that it's done and I'm thinking about it? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. See, movies like this, I'm not going to be possessed. I don't need to worry about this. Like, why is this scary? This is not like a thing that I need to fear. Okay. I'm going to go now. I'm freaked out. This was so good. I loved this so much. Okay. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have an amazing day.